Morning, everybody. Mikey's back with a snuff review. Today, I am taking a look at one of the classic English snuffs, McChrystal's, the genuine and original snuff. They've been around since 1926, 99 years. This is a 5-gram tin, roughly the size of a $1/2. Um, just under a 1/2 inch thick on the tin. This is a slider tin. It doesn't screw off. It just slides on and off. I have taken the plastic off and I have confirmed that it can slide off because sometimes with these tins, they form a vacuum seal when they put them on, and can be a pain in the butt the initial time you get them off. So I just had to make sure that I wasn't going to be struggling on camera to get this tin open. It's not the case. Okay. It's very simple packaging. Here's what you're looking like at the front. Just their branding information, stuff like that, their website on the bottom. And then you go to the back, you got a barcode and a warning label. And that's it. Very basic. No frills, no muss, no fuss. Now, this is an English snuff. When it comes to snuff, there are three main players in the snuff world. You got the British, you got the Germans, and you got the Indians. Now, British snuff tends to be finer and drier. German snuff tends to be a little bit more coarse and has more moisture content. And the stuff from India, it tends to be fine and dry, but it can be heavily perfumed and scented. And all of them have various strengths of nicotine and stuff, but a lot of it's mainly the texture. You will find some variants in there. There are some, British made snuffs that kind of mimic the German style, and there's some German snuffs that kind of mimic the English style. But predominantly, you'll find, each region has its characteristic style of snuff. There's lots of other countries that make it, but those are the three main players. You got the UK, you got the Germans, and you got the Indians. So, let's crack this bad boy open. This is just a slider. Just the lid just slides right off. Got to be careful when you're first taking these up when they're open, because got to give you an idea what you're looking at here. A very fine, dry, powdery snuff. Now let me take my proverbial crackhead spoon here and kind of show you. They're very dry, very powdery. All in all, focus in there. There we go. Sometimes that autofocus doesn't want to play nice. Overall aroma, this is a mentholated snuff. I can tell that by smelling it. It's got menthol. Other than that, I'm not detecting much other than menthol. So, if this is their original, it's plain tobacco that's been mentholated. They adjust the pH to help with nicotine delivery. Other than that, it's the natural stuff, but it's got enough menthol in here. And just on the nose, I'm willing to bet that's going to be the predominant flavor is menthol. It's going to take over the planet. My eyes are going to water and my sinuses are going to open up. Because this is my first nicotine of the day, it is 4:09 in the morning. Because that's how I roll. You notice you don't see me doing videos at 11 or 12 o'clock at night. I'm in bed. 4 in the morning, fair game. Got my crackhead spoon loaded up. Woo! Yeah! Oh, I haven't had McChrystal's original in years. Last time I had a tin of this, I was in Alaska, and I gave away my snuff when I moved. I had a friend who was getting into snuff, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to pack it all with me. So I put it in a box. I went to the cigar club. Hey, buddy, snuff away. And he was, oh, yeah, he loved it. Hopefully he made good use of it. But yeah, whoo, yeah, water in my eye. Now you got to be careful with some of the English stuff because it's much finer and a little bit drier. And if you just go a big honk and snort, you're going to pull this stuff way in your sinuses, and it will not be a pleasurable experience. So it's like you're smelling a flower, and that's all it takes, and it's in. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, this stuff is good. Oh, it's mentholated. It's not over the top mentholated, but it is on the stronger side of being mentholated. It's not lightly mentholated. It's mid to high, more mid, I would say. But oh, yeah, that's a nice hit. I'm awake now. Nice thing about snuff, the nicotine hit. It's it's a very short, very intense burst of nicotine. It hits you and it dissipates within minutes. So that's why you see a lot of guys when they're snuffing, they're snuffing a lot. Tools of the trade. What do you need to snuff? Well, first you need snuff. Second, all you need, the most basic, is your fingers. You can just take a pinch, sniff it off your fingertips. That's all it takes. That's most basic. Woo. Ooh, yeah, this stuff is good. Natural tobacco, enough menthol, clears up that sinuses, allows you to intake more nicotine. But ooh, I could snort this stuff all day. Now with drier snuffs, it can be a bit of a challenge. I use my little spoon here. I really need to get a smaller spoon. This one's like a medicine dishing spoon. I call it a crackhead spoon just because when I went on eBay, I looked up snuff spoon. There was a lot of questionable merchandise showing up in my search. It's like, oh, okay. I didn't know some of that stuff was legal to sell. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But yeah, I just take a little bit. I see. I don't fill the spoon up. I do just a little bit. A lot of guys take a lot more. With mentholated snuffs, I do just little bits at a time. That's just the way I roll. I like to microdose my menthol stuff because every now and then I'll get a really strong mentholated one. If you get too much up in there, it wrecks me. Um, so I take it easy with the mentholated stuff, especially something like this that's getting up there on the menthol scale. There's another one I need to pull out and review for you guys. I've had it in the past, and you want menthol? Oh baby, yeah, it's heavily mentholated. I'll have to see if I can find it and pull it out and do a review. But this stuff is quite pleasurable. I got that nice heat cooling sensation going on in the nose. The sinuses are opening up. Yeah, the nice nicotine hit definitely waking me up now. I'm in pretty good shape. But a 5 gram tin like this is going to last me quite some time. Snuff stores incredibly well. You just got to keep it closed and keep it in a nice, cool, dry environment. If you're going for long-term storage, what I do with some of mine is I sometimes I vacuum seal them up and put them in storage, or I have like a otter box that has airtight seal. I'll put them in there. Um, just want to make sure you have it in a way to where you don't have to worry about your scents blending over time. Sometimes that can be a concern, but for the most part, if they're well sealed, I've never had an issue, especially with the metal containers of cross contamination with scents. Some of the plastic containers for like some of the stuff from India, that stuff tends to like bleed scent everywhere, especially with some of the Indian stuff that's highly scented. I got a sampler from 6 Photo one time, came in a box. There were like 15 of them, 15 little canisters of snuff in this box. They smelled the same. I had to separate them, let them aside, and let them sit there and just air for like 2 months before I could detect any noticeable difference from one to the other. Straight out of the box, they all smelled the same. That scent had just permeated its way through every single one of them. But I just had to let that initial crowded up, crowd control basically. Separate them all out, let them chill, let their own scents come back out, and it was okay. But having them all right there in those little plastic containers was My nose could not tell the difference from one to the other. Okay, another tip. When you're doing snuff and it's rolling around like this, you want to make sure you tap it down before you open it, because if you're doing all this action, it's rolling around in your pocket, you go to open it, it's all on one side and you're going to have a snuff explosion. So, when I've been rolling around, tap it out. Some guys give it a spin, little centrifugal force, and then you can open it up. And even then, you notice it's all on one side. Tapping on my hand didn't appear to work very well, but at least it didn't spill everywhere. But yeah, with snuff, yeah, this stuff's nice, dry. It does hold its shape fairly well. It does have some moisture, but it's definitely drier than the German Schmalzers. But all in all, this is a wonderful stuff. Good aroma. The menthol is just strong enough to wake you up, clear out the sinuses. It's not overpowering unless you really take a honking pinch, which I'm trying to get a slightly larger pinch here just to torture myself. Oh, yeah. Nice nicotine. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You gotta really start enjoying the nicotine hit from snuff. It's short, it's sweet, but oh, it hits you. It does a pretty good job. Chrystals, their original snuff, natural tobacco, mentholated. I would say this is mid to high on the menthol scale. Nothing outrageous, but it is getting up there. It is on the drier side, so you got to be careful not to honk it into your sinuses, just to, like you're smelling a flower, until you get used to it a little bit. You know how much strength you can put into it to draw it up in there. And the nice thing about this with the menthol, it kind of loosens up your sinuses a little bit, causes some moisture in there. So when you take another bump of it, it'll stick. It sticks into the nasal passages a little bit, and you can get more absorption and more aroma, which is kind of nice. If you enjoy the content, be sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate it. I got some links down below, Patreon page, Facebook page. I have a memberships page, memberships available here on the channel. Blah, 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 blah. You guys know what to do, so I won't go through the whole spiel. On the Facebook page, though, feel free to sign up over there if you like to. Join the Facebook page. Post pictures of what you're snoozing and snuffing and dipping and chewing and nicotine pouching and coffee pouching and energy drinks and beer, and I don't care. I'm just curious how the other half lives. Anyway, I will catch you all later with another review of something tobacco or not. This has been Chrystals, their original stuff, since 1926. 99 years in the making. I'll catch you all later.